I guess we can call this Hot Seat Tuesday, because now we're finding out that some coaches out here behind is in the fire. Unfortunately, there's one coach in particular who, I was pretty fond of that has been removed of his position as the head coach of a football program. And you got to understand, when the expectations are high, as far as the presidents, the athletic directors, and even the board members of the universities or colleges that these coaches are coaching at, they have expectations as far as what they're looking for from that head football coach or head basketball coach or that head coach or whatever sport it is that they're coaching. And they're not able to lead the team in the direction which they feel the team should be going. That's a problem. And when that problem becomes so out of pocket where it has people just upset and in their feelings and they want to see change because they see change happen elsewhere at a rapid pace, and here it's just taking its time, it's slowly but surely moving in the direction that some may think it's going, but in actuality, it's kind of like tailing off and it's going in the opposite direction. Yeah, change need to be made. In this instance, man, this change was inevitable and it had to happen. But we're going to talk about how exactly it got to this point on why it happened right after this. You know it's your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow Leader Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and share these videos. And tap me in the friend to tell them to come on in. It's nothing but positive vibes. We're just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow me on all social media platforms. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump on in this thing and get straight to it. Because I know you're like, Coach, what's the rundown? What's really going on with this here? Well, I know there's been a lot of different reports out there as far as what was going on, as far as with head coach Dooley being removed of the position as the Southern University head football coach. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When I saw Coach Dooley over at Jackson State the first time where Prairie View played Jackson State in the SWAC championship, I said, okay, it was already rumblings going on in the stadium that he was leaving Prairie View after that game to become Southern University's new head football coach, in which the announcement came, and then, he moved on over to Southern University. With all that being said, there's a lot of there's a lot of Southern Jaguar fans that was excited about Dooley was coming. There's a couple of folks said, in Dooley they trust. And they got their man, and Dooley came, and head coach Dooley came over to the program. He was going to move things in the direction that they needed to be moved. Not only that, but you had some folks, not only that, but head coach Dooley himself said that the Southern University head coaching job was his dream position. Well, that dream position has turned into a nightmare for him because, as I stated, it's time to part ways. But how did we get here? That's the $1 million question. And I know some folks, they're not excited as far as what the record that they have right now. I believe Southern is 4-3 in the conference. They're 5-5? They're 500 on the season, and that's not gonna cut it. I mean, right now, looking at their schedule for this year, I believe they lost like 3 games with 7 points or less. In which, if those were conference games, that record in the conference will actually be 4-1, 4-1. So it kind of, not 4-1, 6-1. So it's kind of like you sit there looking like, wait a minute, what's the deal? What's really going on? Or better yet, they probably will be undefeated in the conference. I could be a little off with my math. I want to make sure my math is mathing because I don't want y'all to be upset with me like, Coach, here you go. You can't count now, Coach. What's wrong with you? 7 games? You said 7 games, bro. What are you doing? I get it, guys. I get it. Relax. It's been a long day for Coach. Coach got more chaos going on, but he gonna get through this anyway. But let's get back to this topic though. This is the thing. No, I don't want to see any coach lose their job. But when you look at the brass tacks of how everything breaks down, you look at what all took place as far as the team itself was not progressing in the manner in which they needed to. I mean, let's be real here. We can go back to last season, all right? And I was actually at both of those games when I saw this happen, and I was listening to a lot of the fans in the stands who just couldn't believe what was going on. But you had Southern University, they lost the game to Texas Southern. They got blanked by Texas Southern, 24-0. Jack State, they lost to them 35-0. And then FAMU, they lost 30-16. But the crazy thing is this year, they lost to FAMU 19-26, in which they were ahead in that game. Was it 1916? Running backs in your program that can run the ball. I'm not throwing those stones at nobody, but I gotta ask the question: why in the world would you put your quarterback in a position to drop back and throw 3 passes that none of them was completed? And this young man is completing barely over 50% of his passes when he throws the ball down the field. I'm just being honest with you. If you're trying to eat up clock to keep FAMU from scoring points, scoring any more points so you can hold on to get that win, you're already up by 3. Why would you give FAMU the ball back for them to come score 10 unanswered points and they go ahead and walk off and win the game? They tie the game on a field goal, and the next time they score a touchdown and they win the game. Explain it. So yeah, that really had the fan base over there at Southern University pissed off, as well as the board members and everybody else. I'm sure they sitting there like, what is he doing? But then when I look back at what happened last year in the SWAC championship, where you put Glendon McDaniel in the game, Glendon McDaniel runs for almost 200 yards against Jackson State after you've already given Jackson State was a 26-0 lead in the SWAC championship game. You lost to them 35-0 during the season, but you give them a 26-0 lead in the championship game. Yes, Southern made a run to get things back in order, but they were so far behind, there was no way that they were going to catch up. And when you look at that, like I said, everything was predicated on what was going to happen this season. Yeah, I know a lot of folks are saying, why did they just let this man go ahead, coach the last game, the Bayou Classic, and go from, Bayou Classic and then let him walk off into the sunset? Well, the thing is, they want to get a look at, who they got coming in. I think it's Coach Gray. I think it's going to be the interim coach is going to come in and coach the team in the Bayou Classic for them to possibly get a second win in that game against Grambling from when they Grambling beat them 2 years ago. So that's something else that they want to look at. Not just the FCS Division I programs that had, especially the coaches in the HBCU conferences. It's not just that. It's coaches all over the country from FBS, FCS, heck, even Division II and Division III schools. They're all looking at what took place and what all went down in one place. That one place was Jackson State University with Deion Sanders. They looked at how Deion Sanders has been able to get out here and talk about just how he's been able to get out here and get these kids to come into the program and do the things that they need to do. Well, one thing a lot of folks don't quite understand, and I'm going to say it to you now, and it's no slight against Deion Sanders, there's no slight against anybody, but coaches, what I would love to see all of you guys start to do a lot more, not saying that because I want to say that I'm not saying that you're not doing it, but I want to see you do it a lot more, is get out here and go after the big name athletes. Quit looking at the situation as if you can't go for the big name athlete, they're not going to talk to you. It's all about building the relationships with these high schools and with these different coaches at these different colleges to get these athletes to come in here, especially the junior colleges where a lot of these athletes are transferring in to these different universities, continue their collegiate football careers. Everyone has to understand the game is being played differently now. Yes, Deion Sanders came into Jackson State. He did something that a lot of the coaches did not do. He brought in a lot more. He brought in the talent. He brought in the talent for what they were looking to do. A lot of institutions, they're bringing in talent, but they're not bringing in the talent that's set up for them to be successful in a manner which it should be. And that was the game how Deion Sanders beat everybody. Not only that, but like you already know, this man is a mouthpiece. He's a marketing guy that understands how to market his product and get people to come in there and want to be a part of it. And they go do any and everything that he asked of them without it being any problems. So that's all I'm trying to get everybody to say with that. And especially now, when you look at how he went over to Colorado, they won the first 3 games. And then all of a sudden now they just fell off. So now everybody's whispering now like, ooh, what is he going to do? Is he really going to bounce back, do X, Y, and Z? That's the type of stuff what I'm talking about now. Because when you look at it from that standpoint, you got to ask yourself, how in the world was this man able to come into the HBCU space, win in the manner which he was able to win, get a Power 5 job, and move on? Yes, there's not a lot of coaches out here looking for Power 5 jobs, but you got to understand one thing. That man came into this sector, brought the athletes into this sector. They came in, spanked a lot of folks, and now these people want to get back. And now with him being gone, and you have an opportunity to go ahead and move your program forward, and it looks worse than what it did while he was here, that's even worse. And not only that, but you got the athletes to do it with. And this is like, I get coaches fall in love with their quarterbacks. They fall in love with their receivers or whoever it is that they want to start at whatever positions. But just like that Southern University versus Jack State game, the SWAC championship game, why did it take for you to go down 26 points, for you to pull Bichon McCray out and put Glenda McDaniel in the game and let him go to work to position you guys to possibly get back in that championship game? People didn't forget that. A lot of the Southern folks, they didn't forget that. And not only that, but then you look at even with Prairie, Southern was up 21-17 at the half. And you come back and lose this game 27-21. Again, 10 points, 10 unanswered points scored, put them in a position where they lost the game once again. So, yeah, another direction was going to be looked at as an option for the program to go because they're sick and tired of losing. I hate to say it, and I think a lot of folks don't quite pay attention to it. Playing the sport, playing any sport for that matter, being a head coach is what have you done for me lately? And unfortunately, in this instance, head coach Dooley did not deliver on what they expected him to, which was to bring them a championship to Southern University. Not backdoor your way in, but actually win it for you to get there to say, look what we were able to do as a team. But guys, coach gonna go ahead and get up on out this thing. But until next time, be the one and lead.